Welcome back to Twin J Racing, everyone. Today we're going to talk about our misguided adventures at Worlds of Fun and Adventureland. So follow along. Welcome back to Twin J Racing, boys and girls. We're going to do this a little differently. Like I had said previously, I think it was a Fun Day Friday or something. We talked about Silver Dollar City in a different video, and it actually did really good, but I didn't take any video footage while I was at any of these amusement parks on this trip. But in this one, we're going to talk about Worlds of Fun, which is in Kansas City, and we're going to talk about Adventureland, which is in Altoona, Iowa, or something like that. I'm probably butchering it, and I'm sure I'll get told, but those are the two places that we went after Silver Dollar City in the Ozarks. We were actually going to go to not Islands of Adventure, that's Universal, Lost Island. But we opted out of that one, because we were running out of days, two, because it was so hot we were just cooked, and three, the rumor was, and I never actually got a secure answer, that Montugani wasn't running, and that at that point in time is the only reason to go to the park. Well, right now, I mean, they got it's not a hang and bang, but it's an SLC that I guess will beat you to death. But the park looks really cool, and I want to go to it, but they're getting a single rail, the only single rail in the Midwest currently, so I want to go check that out once they get the single rail. But that's a whole nother subject. Back to the subject at hand here. We went to Worlds of Fun, which from Silver Dollar City to there, I think it was like 4.5 or 5 hours. I'm not 100% sure, but it sure seemed like forever, because it was a million degrees outside in the motorhome. The one air conditioner didn't want to work, and we just cooked, which is nothing to do with the parks, but it was our unfortunate. We're trying to travel during the day. We had to stop a couple times to just get out and cool off and then continue traveling on. So we ended up getting there later in the day than we wanted to. So we made the decision, because it was supposed to be leave Ozarks, get there, spend the day there, and then move on. Didn't happen. We got there and we made the decision just to get a camping spot, because they have a campground attached to Worlds of Fun. So long and short, we got there a lot later than we wanted to the first day, and we were going to basically do a day there, but we got there late. So we went in when we did get there, and we got the dining plan with Cedar Fair. So it's like, get in, eat right away. That was our whole thing, go in and eat. And that's all we were going to do, was go in and eat, and then we were going to the water park. Well, we went in to eat, and then we noticed there was zero lines for anything. Like Zimbazi Zinger was a walk-on, the Boomerang was a walk-on, the Mamba was a walk-on. And so we decided, all right, even though we weren't going to, we're going to ride a couple of rides, which we did. And we decided after that, all right, we're going to go ahead and go to the water park. Like I had said in the other video, it was so hot, we were living at the water park. So we went to the water park till it closed that day, and then we went and got dinner, and then we went to the campground. And we actually went to the campground before the water park, but regardless, we were set up at the campground, went to the water park, walked in. They got a back gate there. You walk around a path and you go. There's a nice little restaurant right there with burgers and stuff. So we got burgers, and then we went and spent the rest of the night at the campground in the air conditioning. Next morning we got up, packed up camp, and went into the park pretty much right at opening time. But they had a baseball thing going on for like Little League, and the park wasn't super busy, but it was busier. So there was lines for stuff. It's one of those, oh man, I kind of wish we would have rode, but 6 to 1, half a dozen of the other. We spent, I don't know, 4, 5 hours maybe at the park that day. We Rode everything in the park at least once, some of it 2 or 3 times, and we were ready to go. And we decided we're going to go to water park for a while, which the water park was wall to wall, no parking, no nothing. We actually had to park the RV and the trailer in the incoming camper area, but there was nobody else parked there, so that's where we parked. Anyways, overall, I've rambled enough to not even really talk about the park. So, getting into the actual park experience. The park experience there was really, really good. We had a really good time. There is a little bit of hills and stuff, but it's not too bad. Pathways were great. Everybody at the park was nice. I mean, every 5 minutes you'd hear extreme heat warning, make sure and drink a lot, this, that, and everything else. I mean, all day, just all day. But everything was nice. The park was nice. It is what the park is. It's a mid-tier Cedar Fair park, or well, Six Flags Entertainment Corp park now. But it's a mid-tier. It's a fun park. It was something I'm glad we did. It's not something I'm going to have to go run and go do again. I enjoyed it. We had fun. The rides, there's nothing like super standout there. Prowler was good. I really liked Prowler. Zambezi Zinger was fun. And I mean, I liked the spiral lift. It was a lot of fun. I rode it. I think I rode that 4 or 5 times while I was there. Rode Prowler 3 times, I think. Mamba, which I mean, it is technically a hyper coaster, and it's fun and it's different from Magnum, which is what I'm used to. That's the only, I mean, I know it's a Morgan, but it's basically an Arrow. Only Arrow style one I've been on, but I like the actual Helix versus the turnaround on Magnum. I thought that was a lot of fun. And the no trims on the return on Mamba, like everybody says, makes a world of difference. That world's of fun. Go figure. But overall, everything was nice. Everything was enjoyable. No, like I said, no super standout roller coaster, but everything, you know, was what it is. It's a mid-tier park. Like I said, Prowler was good. Some people put Prowler way up. I think it was nice. I don't think it was super great, but I don't think it was super bad, if that makes any sense. I was happy to see an Enterprise ride still there and operating. We did go on that. We rode the train because, well, it's actually a steam train. But it was a fun park. Not something I would be like, well, you got to go way out of your way to go do it. But if you're in the neighborhood, go do it. So we spent the day there. We spent that afternoon and then the next morning there. Did the water park. Ate again because, well, why not? Dining pass. And then we left there and we went to, well, we stayed at the Crackle Barrel overnight. And I think it was in East Des Moines. I'm not 100% sure. I don't remember. But it was in Des Moines, about 40 minutes from Adventureland. We got up, ate breakfast, and went to Adventureland. We got there about half hour, 45 minutes before the park opened. And got parked and everything, got in. Adventureland, like if you watch any other YouTuber or seen any videos, the front of it does look a lot like Disneyland or Disney World. You know, but once you get past the front of it, it's just like any other amusement park. It's a fun park. Don't get me wrong. Monster, I couldn't think of the name of it. Monster is their standout attraction. Worth the stop just for Monster. Dragon Slayer is another 4D. It's the small 4D like Timbili. And I think there's another one, but I'm not sure. But I actually had a lot more fun on that than I have any Joker I've ridden. You flip a lot more. It was fun from start to finish on that, where the other 4Ds, I won't even wait if they're more than a 5-minute wait because they're just pointless to me. But that one, the Dragon Slayer, the higher end, I think it's the night side, just flips and flips and flips, which is what the ride's supposed to be about. And it is actually fun, where the other 4D rides don't do that. And then Tornado, old wooden coaster, you know, was fun. Renegade, fun. The Underground, it's fun. It's a dark ride that's technically a coaster, but it's a dark ride. They got a spinning coaster. They got a lot of stuff to do, but nothing, there again, they're not a standout except for Monster. Monster is worth the trip to the park by itself. I think I rode that 5 or 6 times. And I rode Dragon Slayer, I think 3, which for me to ride a 4D 3 times, that's pretty good. The rest of the rides we rode once, you know, for the credit. And we got out of there, I think we got out of there about 4 o'clock because we wanted to make it home that night. I actually had to make it home that night. I had to go to a doctor's appointment the next day. But we didn't quite make it all the way home, but that's another subject. Overall, the park was good. Adventureland was fun. We enjoyed it. The pricing wasn't bad. The one thing in this kind of, it's a going theme with some of the smaller parks, is they need to do information better, in my opinion. When we were there before they would let us into the back of the park, we were probably inside the park by a half hour early, and we discussed that I have to use my access and disability pass because of, unfortunately, some of my nerve issues. You know, and it's not my wife getting on my nerves, which she does, but that's a whole nother subject. But my nerve damage from my back issues. And we went there, and there was nothing that says, come here to get your ADD, and there is nothing there that says this is guest services. There was a big sign in the window that says, season pass this much. You know, and then first aid was on the other side. And we're like, well, maybe we got to go to first aid. So we went over to first aid, and they go, no, you got to go over to the other side. Well, when we get up there, underneath that, which is, we didn't read the building that close, but real small letters, guest services. There's no sign, you know, there's like 3 signs that said, buy your season pass here, but no real signage saying this is guest services. And my other gripe with Adventureland, and this is, you know, I don't have any real gripes about Worlds of Fun because, well, they're a Cedar Fair park. They're a legacy Cedar Fair park. And Cedar Fair normally does stuff pretty good, and everything is marked out, and you know where you need to go, and they make that well known. And excuse me as I spit on myself here. You know, so there's not really a lot of gripes there, and like I said, I liked the way everything was done there for the most part. Don't really have any gripes. Kind of where the train was and the show was, that was a little, but it wasn't bad. It was very easily navigated. Back to Adventureland. They don't really have a good, clear, indicated way how to get to Renegade and then back to the water park that I noticed. It is kind of marked, but it's kind of, you have to be looking for it to find it. It's not, because we went around one way, thought we could get there. No, went around another way, thought we could get there, and it wasn't. You had to backtrack over to here and then go. So that was my only real gripe about that. Well, the guest services and then that. And other than that, the park was nice, was laid out, it was clean. Everything, the food was good because we ate food. We saw the magic show. That was enjoyable. My other, I don't necessarily want to say complaint, or my other discussion point is their merchandise. And to me, their merchandise or their for sale areas where they're selling stuff were not that great. They were not well stocked, well versed with different things. I ended up, I think, buying a hat. I bought a hat. That's what I ended up buying because their shirts weren't that great. And they had one shirt that I really liked that said Monster, but they didn't have it in my size. And I asked the young lady that was working there, and she's like, nope, what they have is what they have. And she was kind of rude about it. And I just didn't like the way the stores were laid out, and just, it seemed, it is what it is. I mean, if you want to sell merchandise, you would want to make that, in my opinion, real nice, and, you know, make sure your employees are kind of a little more cordial. But those are little tidbits. I did buy a hat because I wanted something from there because I don't know when I'm going to go back. I mean, I'm probably going to go back sometime in the near future because I still want to go to Lost Island, and it's right down the street, and, well, Monster's there. But those are kind of my quick things on those 2 parks. From what I saw, Worlds of Fun, mid-tier, Cedar Fair Park. It's not Cedar Point. It's not Kings Island. It's not Kings Dominion, but it's a nice mid-tier, like, no super standout coasters, a lot of fun coasters, a lot of fun rides. Everything else, Cedar Point, you know, standards. Water park is nice. It's on the small side. The campground was real nice. People were real nice there. The one thing that would have been nice would be like a tram or a bus service or something to take you from the campground to the park, because you have to walk down to the water park and then all the way around just to get into the backside of the park, which is quite a ways. But, you know, I thought about that afterwards. I'm like, well, Cedar Point doesn't offer anything either. So I guess that's kind of a standard thing. I just not used to not being able to walk that far. And in hindsight anyways. But it's nice. It's a nice park to visit. It's not, if you're used to Cedar Fair and the bigger parks, it's not going to blow your socks off. But it was enjoyable. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the rides, got the credits. So, you know, I would do Worlds of Fun again in a heartbeat. But then again, I also have a Cedar Fair pass, all park passport, and the food plan. So it doesn't cost me a lot to go to those places. It costs me a t-shirt, but I don't even know if I'd buy another t-shirt. And then Adventureland was a lot of fun. It was something different. It was, like I said, overall, it was a great park. It's a smaller park, you know. It's not like crazy big or anything, but it does have Monster. I don't know if I've mentioned Monster enough. But Dragon Slayer was fun. Tornado was fun. You know, Renegade was fun. I don't remember what the spinning one was called, was fun. Underground was fun, but yeah, I wasn't overly impressed with it, but I got the credit. You know, they had the Vikings Fury, I think is whatever. It's the coaster and then the water rider together. Fun. You know, Monster, lapping it, fun. Really enjoyed Monster. But I don't know if you guys can tell, I really enjoyed Monster. Anyways, but that was the rest of that trip. And I would say, if you can, go do it. Go do, you know, do better than I do. Go do all 4 parks. But we didn't just quite make it to the 4 parks. We did the 3. And we enjoyed it. And like I said, they are what they are. And, you know, it was fun. I'm gotten spoiled because Cedar Point's 4 hours, 5 hours from here. Great America, Six Flags Great America, and Gurney is 2 hours. Kings Island's 5. You know, we got the bigger parks and the better parks here, and they're close. So we're spoiled with that, but I enjoy all the other parks because they're not as crowded. So we're going to leave that here. If you enjoyed this, leave a comment. Please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, you know, do all that fun stuff, and we'll catch you in the next one.